What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is only going to take like 2-3 minutes to help you guys understand where Bitcoin's going to go, so on and so forth. So look at this entire long move. I'm going to show you something. We're going to go to a weekly chart. What we're going to do is we're going to take a volume weighted average price like so. We're going to anchor to this low. I'm going to clean this up a little bit because I don't want it to confuse anyone. So we're going to take off the band multipliers. All right, just like that. Essentially, what this tells me is that everyone that's been long from this absolute low all the way up has yet to see the volume weighted average price, that blue line, get tested. So arguably, we're going to be seeing this market move down to that volume weighted average price. That's a very, very important level. All right. That being said, if we move this volume weighted average price upwards to the next candle, that has yet to be tested. So again, there's a very strong chance we're going to be pulling back down to that blue level. If we take this volume weighted average price and we move it upwards, you will see that the market still has not tested that volume weighted average price even on this previous dip. So good chance that gets tested. If we move this up to this breakout right here, you will see that the market has tested it before, used it as support, tried it as support, which then tells us that essentially these two volume weighted average prices have been basically the control point for support for the past few months. Once these give up, that would maybe another story. So right now, Bitcoin has traded down into what has been being used as support. Therefore, I would normally take a box and map it off from that VWAP to the bottom VWAP, like that. Okay? So, now what's going to happen? Well, let's go backwards. Where are the two or couple weekly volume weighted average prices that are not tested? One's there, one's all the way down here, and if I add another one, we'll go right there. So that means our price targets for the downside, if said level above breaks down, means we're going to expect Bitcoin trades right down into this next zone and or down to the very last one. So let's go look at, say, a daily chart now. On the daily chart, we pretty much expect and have been expecting Bitcoin would trade down anywhere into these weekly volume weighted average prices. Assuming at some point we're going to test the volume weighted average price that's anchored to the absolute low, that's going to be a bounce spot, arguably. So basically, what do we expect? We expect Bitcoin to trade down into the level it's already into. If we take that one out, it's going to go to the next one. We take that out, it's going to go to the next one. Now, each one of these weekly volume weighted average prices that I'm showing you is a counter trend bounce location. So we don't necessarily control the market, we just know where it wants to go, arguably. And as it sells down into each one of, as we said, let me delete some of this stuff. As it trades down into any one of these weekly volume weighted average prices, the Bitcoin market is likely to use any one of these as a little counter trend start location. So therefore, as we trade down into this price, or this price, any one of those three levels could very well be used as the absolute pinpoint bottom for a counter long. So we pretty much expect it to trade down into any one of those levels. Which one the market chooses to use as kind of that exact counter long start, still up in the air. We have to kind of watch it. Now let's also take a look back at the daily chart. If we look at the daily chart and we repeat the same process we did, but on the bearish side, let's anchor to this high. Let's anchor to this candle breaking down, and we're going to anchor a VWAP here and a VWAP here. Or wait, where'd it go? Maybe, didn't even have one. And a VWAP here. This might take more than 3 minutes, I apologize. So let's just delete these VWAPs off the bottom, because now we already have the horizontal price points to give us an idea where those VWAPs really are. So essentially what we're doing is we're trading the Bitcoin market down, seeking out support. And once we find it, which could arguably be that green line, and this one, we we'll probably start a counter trend bounce. When we do, we will then be targeting back to the volume weighted average price of this daily sell leg that has yet to be tested, and or up to the volume weighted average price here of that daily top that has yet to be tested. If we go back to the weekly chart, and let's repeat that process one more time, we're going to take a VWAP. Since it's going up, we're going to anchor to the low. All right, so low, low, and low. That ultimately tells us what? This whole entire market, as it's been going up, has not actually tested that volume weighted average price. It's pretty much going to be doing it like soon or now. All right, that's the same thing that just has happened on the upside here, but on the daily scale. The daily scale has not yet tested any of the volume weighted average prices for each one of these sell legs. So once the market catches its footing, arguably somewhere in this area, we'll most likely backtrack to wherever those volume weighted average prices are. Today the box is priced here. Tomorrow it could be, well, not tomorrow, but in a couple days it could be like down here. The price targets are ever moving. So with that being said, that's very likely something we will see. I don't expect that we're going to sell through this volume weighted average price zone without an attempt of bouncing. And the reason I say that is because the daily chart, last leg, volume weighted average price hasn't been tested, and or the one above it. So does the market really want to break down all of the weekly volume weighted average price support trends and go like that prior to bouncing and testing the most recent daily legs? That's what I mean. So we pretty much expect Bitcoin down somewhere in here, and then we're going to counter bounce back to here. All right. In the event we break down, we would have to do some more analysis and figure it out, which I could literally do right now, but then the video would be too long. I'll just post another video if that ends up happening. But for the time being, that's pretty much what the markets are looking at. All right. So have a good one, and we'll keep updating you.